So, great evening, everyone. Welcome to the 107th episode of Beautiful Minds with me, Kirthi. It's a live chat show with funny heroines around the world. And today with us, we have a very sweet and little girl. Her name is Hilonee. She is Hilonee K Shah. She is a paper maker. Something would surprise everyone with the word like paper maker. So, does she really create paper? No, we'll definitely learn from her what she's doing and we'll know from her what she does. She's a traveler, she's an entrepreneur, and she is the founder of Paper Culture. So, Hilonee, welcome to my show.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. I'm very grateful for giving me this platform, this opportunity to come and, just tell the world like what I do, how the things go behind.
Thank you so much. Hilonee, before we go ahead and start off with something about you, I really want to compliment first thing is that you look so sweet and cute, and the bell nearby you actually says like, wow, how creative you are.
Thank you so much.
I actually wanted to tell the audience out there, she is from Cochin, but she is a North Indian, but she do speak in Malayalam. അതുകൊണ്ട് നമ്മുടെ മലയാളി പ്രേക്ഷകർക്ക് എന്തായാലും കുറച്ച് മലയാളം എവിടെയെങ്കിലും കേൾക്കാൻ പറ്റും. അപ്പൊ വിചാരിക്കരുത് പേര് കേൾക്കുമ്പോ തന്നെ അയ്യോ മലയാളം അറിയാത്ത കുട്ടിയാണോ? അല്ലല്ലോ അല്ലെ ഹിലോണി, അത്യാവശ്യം കുഴപ്പമില്ലാതെ തട്ടിമുട്ടി നിൽക്കാനുള്ള മലയാളം നമുക്ക് അറിയാം അല്ലെ?
Yes, ഇത്തിരി അറിയാം.
Okay, there we go.
Yes.
So before we start off, Hilonee, I would really love to share this with my audience there. That how did I come across with this page? നമ്മൾ എപ്പോഴും പറയുന്ന പോലെ തന്നെ നമുക്ക് ചില സമയത്ത് നമ്മൾ തന്നെ കണ്ടുപിടിക്കുന്നതായിരിക്കും, ചിലപ്പോൾ പലരും റെഫർ ചെയ്യുന്നതായിരിക്കും. അപ്പൊ എനിക്ക് നമ്മുടെ ഷോയിൽ വന്ന ഒരു ഗസ്റ്റ് റെഫർ ചെയ്ത ഒരു പേജാണ് ഹിലോണിയുടെ പേപ്പർ കൾച്ചർ. ഇത് കണ്ടു കഴിഞ്ഞപ്പോഴത്തേക്കും എന്താണ് ഈ കുട്ടി ചെയ്യുന്നത് എന്നുള്ളൊരു തോന്നൽ. കുട്ടി എന്ന് പറയുമ്പോൾ ഡോണ്ട് തിങ്ക് ദാറ്റ് ഷീ ഈസ് എ വെരി സ്മോൾ ഗേൾ, ബട്ട് ഐ ഫീൽ ദാറ്റ് ബീങ് എൻ ഓൺടർപ്രണർ അറ്റ് an age of 22 is like super cool. അതാണ് എനിക്ക് തോന്നുന്നത്. അങ്ങനെയാണ് ഹിലോണീനെ നമ്മൾ അപ്രോച്ച് ചെയ്യുന്നത്. ആൻഡ് ഷി വാസ് സോ ഹാപ്പി ടു ജോയിൻ ഹിയർ. ഷി വാസ് ലൈക്ക് wow, I'm definitely going to come there and going to tell about my story. അങ്ങനെയാണ് ഹിലോണീനെ നമ്മൾ കണ്ടുപിടിക്കുന്നത്. എനിക്കറിയാം നിങ്ങൾക്ക് എല്ലാവർക്കും ഈ പേര് കേൾക്കുമ്പോൾ എന്നെ പോലെ തന്നെ ഉണ്ടായിരുന്ന ഒരു ക്യൂരിയോസിറ്റി ഉണ്ട്, എന്താണ് ഇതിന്റെ മീനിങ്, what exactly is the meaning of Hilonee? So Hilonee, would you like to actually start with that? What is the meaning of Hilonee?
Sure. So to be very honest, I have been like going around, checking around for the meaning of my name, but all that I've been told about is intense desire for knowledge, and otherwise it is also like, a person with a very cheery vibe, a very jolly person who, keeps around cheering on people around her. So yes.
I'm sure that you are such wonderful person, because else I would have not even invited you to just join me today, because yesterday when we spoke I was so much excited to hear from you how bubbly you are and how very very quick person who I'm doing a lot of things and I just love the life which I'm doing right now.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, moving on to you, Hilonee. Would you like to just start out from where exactly are you from? From the school days, from your college days, and then we'll go on with the paper culture which you're doing currently.
Sure. So just a very brief about me. I am Hilonee and I am as such a Gujarati, but I'm born and brought up in Kerala. So I would like to be called as a Keralite because I really love being here, and I call this my home obviously. I did my schooling in Kochi itself. I did my college in Mumbai. I did my bachelor's in management studies and I specialized in HR. So, and during the third year, during the lockdown, that's when the journey of papier culture began. And that's when, this brand, this baby of mine was born.
That's so sweet. Hilonee, I'm sure that when you were doing your graduation, people would have definitely guided you, or would have told you like, okay, after your BBA, let's go for something else. Let's do some higher studies, or even the college that you were studying. I'm sure that there were a lot of placements also happening, but you didn't actually look into all this because you had your baby who was born and you really wanted that baby to be grown up. And that's how you actually kept on going on with what you're doing right now. Would you mind to just share that as well with us, like your placement journey and your job journey as well?
So this clearly was absolutely unplanned. I had no idea that, 2 years down the line of before my graduation, I'm going to end up being a, business owner and all of this. So I had a clear goal of, at least 2 to 3 years that after my graduation, I want to get into, proper corporate, be an HR, have my journey there, and then do my MBA after, again, a few years of experience. So my whole, planning that I had done, and I was sitting for placements, and when it became like, third year, and when I started doing this, initially it just started off as a lockdown activity, and I started really, it was very interesting for me, and I was like, this is something I really enjoy doing, and that's how I changed, from a very small, just a lockdown activity to I decided to make it like my brand. I started doing a business out of it. So yes.
Wonderful. Hilonee, do you remember what is the first thing that you've made using the paper? Like, if you ask me, it's offshore, a boat, or maybe even a ball, because we just roll it up and because creativity doesn't come close by us. So, can you recollect, like, what is the first thing that you've made which made you think, like, okay, now I have to go with this?
So what happened was I just started making these papers. So the very base or the first step was making a paper sheet. And
Uh-huh.
when obviously after making it, it has to dry. So it took 2 days. And after the paper was dried, I just took that paper in my hand. The feel of, touching a paper that you yourself has made. So it was like a very extremely special feeling. So I was like, okay, this is something I'm going to really love doing because every time you make the paper, you just, especially the texture of handmade papers are crazy. So they make you feel very warm and it has its own, different kind of, what do you say? I really love handmade papers. So that's how it all began.
So, the question was that what did you make with that first paper? Or
First
is it still
paper,
kept, like, a framed, or it's kept there, like, wow, it's my first paper which I've made?
my first paper is still kept the way it is.
Beautiful.
Yes.
That's so nice. Hilonee, again, when we were having a conversation, there was something very interesting that you said when I had this question with you that how did this creativity come up? Or certain people are born with creative thoughts, or certain people are being trained for something, or accidentally people come into creativity, or somewhere there is it. But you gave me some interesting fact. How did you get? No, how did you get into this part of it? Would you like to bring out your hero of this
Sure.
your
So
journey?
this obviously is a major thanks to obviously family genetics matter, and I got this from my dad especially because he's into designing. He's an interior designer. He's an interior designer by profession. So the art creativity part, comes from there. And yeah, my mother as well. Like I get it from her. I'm like what I get from her is the management skills, and from that I get the creativity. So I just club those, and that's how it goes.
Wonderful. And Hilonee, one more thing I would really love you to add on with your dad's experience. Like, no, people usually have lot of experience or lot of a background to be done on their knowledge about creative. But when you told me about your dad, I think he was a real inspiration for
Yes,
me, as well as I think a lot of people who would be watching this this show right now. Would you like to just share that as
I'll
well?
do that. Yes, sure. So what happens is like my dad has not got like he's a interior designer by profession, and when it comes like nowadays, you need degrees and all of that to show up and to have something that you can show the world. But when it comes to my dad, he's done everything from scratch by himself. He's learned everything, bits and pieces, like everything. So that has inspired me. His story has inspired me crazily. And I was like, okay, even I want to do that because hard work and effort always pays off. There's never a time that you work hard for something and you don't get that. So,
100%. And I'm sure that maybe at times when you know are when you start somewhere or you are actually planning to do something out, I'm sure that your dad would be the most inspiring person to let you know that like keep going, my dear, don't worry about it because your dad is here, so you don't have to worry at all. So no challenges might come out to your your way, I guess.
yes, that's true. My parents and my sister and a few close friends have been my biggest support. I every time there's been like a lot of challenges or some like a speed breaker, like they've always been there to support. They're like, see, it's very easy, and then they give me their inputs and their own fees, and they're like, you can do this easily. So yeah, it's been big. They've been like a huge support to me.
Great. Hilonee, also one more thing which I wanted to ask you, because I have already had this with you, but still, there was a time when you had a job in your hand, which where you can probably say a yes or a no, and you had your baby on the other hand. So we usually find in a Hindi, a dramatic movie that the mother actually chooses the child first before before anything else. So would you mind to just share that journey as well? That being a mother of a baby, which is papier culture, you actually chose to be the mother of the the business
Yes,
that you run.
so I'll do that. So what happened was there was a point, in my life where I'm like, okay, I had a second thought because I was being told a lot about it. Like, do you really think this will, go a long way, blah, blah, blah. So I was very confident that it definitely will. But, there are challenges by itself that you face because you started directly from college, you start your own business. So what happened was, I'm like, okay, why not just give it a shot? I tried applying for a few companies and I was like, okay, I'll do this part-time. It's definitely not going to stop. I'll do it as a part-time thing and I'll manage both balance somehow. And I applied and I cleared 2 3 rounds of interview. It was the last round and I was supposed to give them the final this thing. Like, it was like, you need to join by next week. So I was like, okay, give me some time to think. I thought, I'm like, what do I do? So like, it's your choice. We're not going to stop you for anything. We're going to support you either this way or this way. Then I was just like, very like 2 nights I just couldn't sleep. But then my gut, I always follow my gut, and it always says, it was like, pick your culture. It was just pointing towards that. So I'm like, I don't care what it is. I'm going to give, my biggest shot to this. I will see what happens. And yeah, that's how I chose. I just was like, I denied the offer and I shifted to again doing what I really love the most.
I like this vibe of yours, Hilonee. When I was talking to you, I did even tell you the same thing. Like being a very young girl, you do have a lot of options, but to being consistent on what you're doing right now, maybe that is the reason why now when you complete your years for Papier Culture, you might be definitely feeling very proud that okay, my decision was not wrong. I'm just on my right path itself.
Yes, I would like to
Great.
tell one thing, that consistency plays a huge role, because there are times because working every day 24/7, trying to do something new in creative field is something where you need to put your mind into it, and it's very crazy. Like, you sometimes do get exhausted. There are times where, you need to get that creative side of yours, but you're like just absolutely blank. But only when there is consistency you can move ahead. That's one thing I can tell you for sure, because I have experienced that myself, that sometimes there are times where I get lazy and I'm like, I just suddenly shut myself off, but I'm like, okay, it's, affecting me real bad. So then consistency is one part that, has brought me to here.
Beautiful. One more thing I would like to add on and let the audience know, while Hilonee was talking to me, she said that this is the only thing which I don't feel fed up at all. Even if you ask me to do something, I'll be like very happy to create the paper and just keep on my baby going on with that. Because she feels and she believes that something which makes you really happy, you don't actually get exhausted with that. You just keep on going because it's just there. It makes you really happy. Am I right on
Yes.
that, Hilonee? I think yes, you said the
Absolutely.
same thing.
Yes, absolutely. There is no doubt in that. Because there are times my parents are like, have you lost your mind? Because there are times where I make papers like in the midnight just because I need to complete an order. I'm like, I just want to chill around. So that's my therapy kind of a thing, that, I just keep making papers no matter what the time is.
Wonderful. Hilonee, what are future plans actually? You started with this and it's just it's going on right now really well. People are coming to know about the work which you're doing right now. But what exactly are you looking forward in the future? Where do you find papier culture to be there?
So I really want to bring out the concept of eco-friendly papers, recycling papers. All that I do is more than a brand. It's a concept that I want people to understand, and I want people to, have that and live that. It's an experience more than, a product. It's more of an experience that they need to feel. And I see it go a long way. My future plans are, I really want to expand it, grow it, but I have always told one thing, that I want to stick to the whole, the whole concept of eco-friendly, environment-friendly, and handmade. That is one thing that I have been very, very stern about when it comes to the packaging of paper culture as well. I try my best that there is not even 1% of plastic or something that is non biodegradable or, not eco-friendly that is included. Like, just giving a very simple example, even for packaging, people are like, at least just, because you never know it's going to rain or not, just maybe put up a sellotape. But at the end, I'm like, why am I doing all this? I start explaining, like, why am I doing all this just to use that part of sellotape? Then I'm like, no, you use such tape. So then there are a lot of people don't know or not aware about it, but there are eco-friendly tapes that, are, there are these starch tapes that you can use, water tapes. So there is an, what do you say, there's an substitute for every plastic material that you have. So it's high time that people understand that to have that eco shift in the product that you use, especially on a daily basis, and make a very sustainable choice so you can have a better living in the future, a safe living, I would like to say.
That's so sweet of you, Hilonee. I usually used to before wind up, I just check up with my guests, or I used to ask them one question: what is the message from your side? But I think this time you didn't even give me, a word to ask, because you said a wonderful message. Even though you spoke about your future plans, you were just giving out some messages that people, please avoid plastics. Let's get into the eco-friendly part and just keep going. And please ensure that you find some substitute, because there is definitely a substitute for every single thing which is there in and around us.
Yes.
Right. Hilonee, it was really nice talking to you, Hilonee, trust me, because, we did have a lot of other guests in our show where, again, young people, those who really wanted to build up an environment with like eco-friendly things, and they are in the journey to build this up. Though they also did say that it's really difficult because it's like a drop of water in the ocean, but still they are going to consistently do that. So I'm sure that someone who's watching this show right now, or later if they are watching it out, they might definitely reach you out, because a lot of hands will come out, and I'm sure that the world that you're looking out for is going to happen very soon, and your name will definitely be there. Like Hilonee K Shah is one person who was there with a drop of water, but now she is there with a lot of things she's doing right now. Wish you all the very best, Hilonee, for whatever things you're doing right now.
Thank you so much.
And it was wonderful knowing you. So keep going with that, girl. We all are there with you. At any point, she is in Cochin. So if you're there to help her out, please go ahead. Let's try together and do a lot of things. And in Calicut, if you want to step down, please ensure you're there. I'll be always there to help you on that part of it.
Yes, thank you so much. I would just like to quickly, give a message to the viewers. I know I've already done that, but a very
no problem. Go on.
different note.
Yes.
Okay, to all those people who've just recently joined, I would just like to very quickly tell you all what I do, because everybody is hearing about papier culture, but what exactly I do, like in a very layman's term, I collect used papers, be it papers from offices that are printed that are usually burned, or newspapers. I collect them, I recycle them, and I make handmade papers and then their products out of them. Now the point over here that is very catchy is a lot of people ask, like, do you have machinery, blah blah blah. So I'm like, guys, it's handmade paper, so it's not there are no machinery. It's just like a fun part, but yeah, there are no machineries used. Every process is completely handmade. So yeah, this is what I do basically. And a very quick thing for everybody there, just look out every even if one of you is being impacted by, making a change, it is nothing small. It is like you just added on to the big crowd of, people who are trying to change the world for the better future. So don't think that you are making a small change. Every small change is going to make a big impact, a huge impact. So yes, that's all I would like to say. And a very, very big, thank you to you for having me here. It really means a lot for giving me this platform to reach out to a lot of people, and what you are doing is just amazing, and I would love to see more of your live shows, getting more of these unsung heroines coming and giving their story out.
Definitely. Thank you so much.
Though
so I didn't ask you about the message, but thank you so much for taking the initiative to say that. I would really love to give out the message, and I love that attitude of yours. I'm sure that this is the reason why you keep on going with all of whatever steps you're taking up. It is like towards success. So people, please do go and check this page, and you will definitely find out the interesting things which Hilonee is doing there. And please ensure people in Cochin, you are going to help Hilonee for this better place to be happening out there. So without much saying anything, Hilonee, wish you a very happy weekend ahead, and all the best once again for all the things that you're doing right now. And I'm sure that you are going to blast this. Papier culture is going to be a grown-up baby very soon.
Thank you so much. Very grateful. Thank you.
And to the audience out there, thank you so much for joining us tonight. You have always been with us from the beginning till now. You have always supported us. So keep going with us. Next weekend, you will have another interesting lady with me to share her story. So until and unless, as I always say, please keep smiling and please take proper care of yourself and have a great weekend ahead. Thank you once again. And Hilonee, thank you so much. God bless.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye-bye.